Hey guys, it's baking day. Baking, yeah. I've seen this recipe done a lot of places, and of course I had to try it myself. These wonderfully delicious and cute apple roses. They came together so nicely, they are so good, and this is for our cook and share friends and our community over at the Hoot. Wait a minute, do I hear them coming? Oh yeah, that's them. So let's get started. Okay guys, the first thing we're going to do is cut our apple in half. Then I'm going to take my knife and remove the top. Then we're going to go ahead and cut our apple into fairly thin pieces. And then I'm just going to remove the core by taking the tip of a piping bag. And you can use a pastry cutter or you can even core them to begin with. This is just kind of fun until you get something like this. And with mine, I'm just going to submerge them into some cold water just so they don't get brown while I'm busy working away coring them. Okie dokie then. Now what I'm going to do is flour up a surface and lay my puff pastry on. And this is just puff pastry I bought in the grocery store. You can make it yourself, but it's rather labor intensive and a lot easier to buy it in the store. Now these come pre-marked, but I'm not going to go by that because I want them about 3 inches wide. So I'm going to take my trusty old pizza cutter and go down about 3 inches, 3 inches again, and about 3 inches again. That way I'm getting 4 out of them. How economical. Take my trusty old rolling pin and I'm going to roll these out until they're about, oh, I'd say 3 by 12 or 15. Then, my fine feathered friends, we are going to put some melted butter over the top and just spoon it over. You can brush it too, but I don't know, whenever I brush pastry it seems more like shellacking to me. I love my butter. Now we have our puff pastry all buttered up. I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of sugar and add about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now if you're a cinnamon lover, you can go heavy-handed on this and add a whole teaspoon, whatever you like. Then I'm just going to sprinkle it onto the melted butter on the pastry. And you can add as much or as little as you like on this. If you're health conscious, add less. If you're not, of course, add more. Now our pastry is all set. I'm going to prepare my apples for the final adventure of the apples anyway, by placing them on a plate. And if they're in bunches, that's fine. I guess they could have looked a little bit neater, but I'm hungry. And I'm going to throw these in the microwave for about 30 or 45 seconds, just to the point where they become soft. Not mushy, but soft. And what you want, guys, is something like this, just so they're limp. You don't want them mushy again, but just limp. Something like that. Hope they're coming for you. Now I'm going to take my apples and place them on. You want a bit of a space in the front and about a 1/4 inch overlap at the top. And of course you want that nice red part sticking out, and lay them on so you have an overlap in each apple. Now I'm just going to take the outer edge with no apple, sorry my hand's in the way here guys, and fold it over. Nice and neatly, just like this. Alrighty then, now we'll take an egg wash, which is just a beaten egg in a couple of teaspoons of water. And in this case I am going to shellac, I'm going to brush. And of course another application of our sugar and cinnamon. I always had trouble saying that word as a kid, cinnamon. Now guys, the moment of truth for this technique. We're going to roll up our apple roses, and let's hope this works and Murphy's Law doesn't kick in. But I think it's going to be just fine. And you want to roll these up about as evenly as you can. And you don't want them too tight. Until you get something like this, and doesn't that look just pretty, guys? And one more time, rolling the rose. I just love this recipe. It seems like a lot of technique, but it's not really. It's quite easy. And of course the egg wash seals it up too when you're rolling it. And there we are. Oh, doesn't that look nice? I'm going to prepare my ramekin by buttering it up. Always good to butter up your ramekin, guys. Add in a bit of sugar. And we're just going to kind of swirl this around and sugar it up. Now I'm using two different sizes of ramekins here, a big one and a small one, so we'll see which one works out best for this technique. Now I'm going to set my roses inside of the buttered ramekin. And I've decided that the big ramekins are a little too big. These ones are just perfect. And I'm going to slip these into a 400 degree Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius preheated oven for about 40 to 45 minutes, just until that pastry is beautifully browned. So while the apple roses are baking, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you in our subscriber list and in our community. And if you like what you see, hit that like button too. It really helps us out. And over at our site, we have a newsletter. So go to the bottom of the site and sign up for the newsletter. Get updated on all recent activity, recipes, do-it-yourself stuff, whatever you like. So let's check these apple roses now. After 45 minutes, they are beautifully done. Just look at this. So I'm just going to let these cool for about 5 or 6 minutes. Okay guys, after they've cooled a little bit, I'm just going to go around them with a butter knife, just to make sure nothing is sticking to the edges. Okay guys, it's cooled enough, so we're ready to come out. And we're just going to do the old plop here. And just look at that. Incredible. Now I'm going to sprinkle our apple roses up with some powdered sugar just to make them real pretty like. Don't these look gorgeous? And there you have it guys, our ever so gorgeous, not to mention cute, apple roses. Oh, just look at this. Wow. Okay, my favorite time again. Let's give these a taste test. I don't know if you heard that crunch or not, but they are crunchy. They're so good. I love the cinnamon. I love the pastry and the apples. That's why I used a sweet apple, because it just adds to the richness. These are so good. You got to make them, guys. Great with a cup of tea, coffee, a dessert, and more. So for the full scoop on this recipe and many other great recipes, head on over to Cook and Share. Again, the site's been totally revamped. You're going to love it over there. All kinds of great stuff. And again, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. Get updated on all recent articles and recipes. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe and see you next time.